can save you from me.
Greetings, mortals. I knew you would find your way back here.
The rune word that makes up part of an overall good build, but costs as much as the whole build should be altogether. Hand of Justice is an expensive rune word costing Sir, Cham, and Low, and being able to be put into weapons. It gives off the same feel as a new player killing Vale in normal for the first time and wanting to know how to get Infinity and Enigma, only to realize that they now have to go through 2 more difficulties and spend countless hours farming in hopes that maybe a Vex would start to drop to work towards endgame gear. Don't get me wrong, this rune word has a lot of beneficial stats to it, with a 33% increased attack speed, varying 280 to 330% enhanced damage. Ignore target's defense for non-regular boss and champion enemies, negative 20% to enemy fire resistance, 7% life stolen per hit, 20% deadly strike, hit blinds target, and the ability to freeze your target. One stat that never ceases to make me question why is when something procs because you die. A 100% chance to cast level 48 meteor when you die. For hardcore characters, that proc should never be the goal to have go off. Even those that don't play hardcore such as myself, that is not a proc that I ever want to see go off. Where this Runewords cost seems too expensive is that this is half of what is used for a Holy Firedin or Dragonin build. As with the level 16 Holy Fire aura when equipped, pairs with the Runeword Dragon's level 14 Holy Fire aura for both the armor and shield, giving you level 44 Holy Fire. A good skill, and on lower player settings or playing solo online, can pulse kill non-fire immune monsters pretty quickly. Also, the pulse damage being doubled in melee range and scaling back to normal damage at max range is good, but still not enough to justify its cost, at least from the traditional melee use. This is usually the limitations to what this rune word could be used for. Granted, this can be made in all weapons with enough sockets such as bows for a fire boson, since they have been buffed a bit in the new 2.4 patch, but for melee specific weapons. Leaving this rune word to often only be used passively, aside from a zealot striking with it, as even in the phase blade, the enhanced damage wouldn't add a lot of physical damage even if rolled high, and only is a part of an otherwise good but not OP build. Other uses are just for very niche build choices such as a fire sorceress, fire bear druid, or even a melee sorceress. However, for the cost of the runes and the overall effectiveness of the aura with the other stats on it, there's much cheaper and better alternatives available. The other build that I only mentioned briefly before that I want to mention on its own would be for the fire boson. This rune word would arguably be the best in slot to use, as every single stat that unfortunately wouldn't be as good for a melee weapon is arguably the best for a fire boson. So it goes like this. For a Holy Firedin or Dragonin build, this is the weapon to use. For a fire boson, this is arguably the best to use. For other builds, there are other alternatives to preferably use. Even with the introduction to new level 85 areas that don't have many fire immunes to make fire builds more viable, this rune word isn't going to be the first choice for many builds to try out unless you really are wealthy and have the runes to burn.